TDS Queen here, wearing my favorite t-shirt. Not too much today, thank God. It was a just kind of repeating of Newsday, but still things to talk about, because there's always things to talk about, because we can't be quiet and we can't let the lies go. This stuff with his health, I swear to God. I was thinking about the MRI stuff, and he is such a freaking braggart that if it was actually good and they had found nothing, then he would say that. He would never shut up about it. What did they scan? Why will he not say what it is? It's most likely his brain, because of the obvious dementia that he's suffering. Anybody out there that has a relative or a loved one that has Alzheimer's or dementia, know the signs. They are there. It is clear. This man is unhinged. And that leads me into the first story of the day that I could not... yesterday, I don't know that I talked about what he did to Tim Walz, but called him in a Truth Social post the R-worded governor or whatever, something R-worded, which I will not say on here. And as a result of this, Walz said, release the MRI, because this is unhinged posting that he does on the regular. And there's consequences to that. Because now there's a senator from Indiana, the state that he's trying to gerrymander, named Mike Boasek, that daughter has Down syndrome. So when Trump came out with this post where he called the governor the R word, Boasek said that he is not going to be voting for the gerrymandering because, quote, words have consequences, which yes, they do, and yes, they should. I'm all for free speech. I'm not the politically correct police, okay? I remember growing up when you could use that word and things were, when they were uncool and you would say they were a certain sexual preference. I'm not going to say that now either, but you just don't do that anymore. And I don't cry myself to sleep at night not being able to say those things, okay? Like I said, we evolve. Our manners evolve. Our social norms evolve. Societal norms evolve. We don't need to, treat people like that anymore. And if things are offensive and they're found to be offensive, then why would you not want to not be offensive to people? That's the whole point of that. And I am going to play some clips today because I have my iPad. So we're going to do the best we can. I can't cut them in with, the show or anything like that, but I can definitely read tweets and things. Here's the gerrymandering one that Trump wrote. I am working with Governor Mike Braun and other Indiana Republicans on picking up 2 Republican congressional seats. The governor, a good man, must produce on this, or he will be the only governor, Republican or Democrat, who didn't. I won Indiana in a landslide, the most votes ever gotten in the state. Such an honor. A Rhino State Senator, Roderick Bray, who doesn't care about keeping the majority in the House in D.C., is the primary problem. Soon he will have a primary problem. As will any other politician who supports him in his stupidity. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. And yet has an absolute cow when California did it legally. They are trying to pick up as many seats as they can because they know that there's going to be a blue tsunami in the midterms. So what are they doing? They're going to all their little Republican buddies and trying to have them redistrict and get them more seats. California did the same thing, only they put it to a vote and asked their people in the state, do you want to vote for this and get some more seats? How is that in any way illegal? How is that? That is the democratic process about getting this done. If they were smart, that's what all these Republican states would do. But see, they can't do that. Because if they do that, then they have to admit that the way that Newsom did it is the correct way of doing it, which is the democratic process of putting it to your people for a vote, which they did. And they can sit here and cry and whine and say they're going to bring lawsuits and stuff. You can't. It was like a referendum. You put the vote to the people and they voted yes. But their whole argument is it's not that's illegal. It's that the whole election is rigged, of course. The rigged election. 3 and 4 ballots go out to voters. I wonder some of the things that he says, and I'll get into some of the more disgusting things that he said today in a minute. Who's telling him? Who's advising him? Does this come out of him, these lies? Because they're so easily found to be lies that I just can't believe that somebody's not like, hey, you can't go out and say that. That's not true. That's 100% not true. There's zero evidence to that. But he is the creator of this is fake news. And ever since he said that, man, it has just been a nonstop barrage of lies. And ones that people just believe with their whole heart, will not look up, will not research, will not do any kind of independent thinking on. I just can't. I don't understand how people forgot how to think for themselves. It is not that hard. Really, people, not that hard. I mean, I looked up things, and the fact that the next thing that we're talking about is this racist Somalia nonsense, okay? He's going on and on about there's hundreds of thousands of Somalians in Minnesota. Took me literally a second. There's 80,000 to 87,000 in Minnesota, okay? Do you know what percentage of the population of Minnesota is Somalians? 1.12% to 1.2%. That's it. Do you see what he's doing here? He is using this National Guard shooting when the perpetrator is an Afghanistan national and twisting it into being a whole nother racist boogeyman. So now we're back on the, kick everybody out, shut down immigration, look over here, not over here, distract. And there's so much, and he thinks people are gonna, get tired. Bring it, B-word. Bring it. I'm not tired. I'm not distracted. I can keep up with it. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to forget about the Epstein stuff, the gerrymandering stuff, the elections. I'm not going to forget about any of that. You can go ahead. I'm not going to forget that the billionaires are stealing our money and artificially inflating the economy, and that we're not paid a living wage, and that grocery prices are up. I'm not going to forget any of that. None of it. I'm not going to forget that I can't afford a house. I'm not going to forget that I can't afford childcare. None of it. You can keep on pushing out these little racist boogeymen nonsense. I'm not going to forget about it. Which brings me to his next tweet. Oh. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. How's that? I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe's auto pen, and remove anyone who's not a net asset to the United States. Really? That would include a few of your family members, I would think. Or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. They don't get any. They don't get any. I've said that in so many videos. They don't get federal help. Not unless they're here under asylum or visa or the legal way. They don't get government programs. They don't. Denutralize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. How did he pardon those January 6th? That was a lot of people. Oh, that's right, he used the auto pen. I almost forgot. Only reverse migration can fully cure the situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. Right back at you. Because that's exactly what you do. You just described yourself. As always, project, confess, deflect, just like they always do. That's what they do. But this is just another racist boogeyman. This is just immigrants are stealing your jobs. Immigrants are why your groceries are high. Immigrants are why you can't afford a house. It's all lies. It's all lies. And why he has to turn people now. Again, we're back in like his first presidency where he's closing down and not letting people in from other countries and demonizing immigrants. We are a country of immigrants. Immigrants built this country, okay? Get over it. That's how it is, okay? They help the economy. They do hard work. They are the ones that built this country. We need to find a path for citizenship, okay? The immigration system is obviously broken. There needs to be a way. But his lies of all these people coming in unvetted brings me back to his stupid stuff that he's lying about the National Guard shooting, because they are coming out there, all of his minions, him and Noam and, stupid Kash Patel are coming out there and talking about how this guy came in under Biden, and they conveniently leave out the part where Trump is the one who did the final vetting the asylum vetting, okay? 2021, this guy came over in a thing called Operation Allies, and they were, supposed to be people that have worked. This guy had worked closely with the CIA. He was an NDS-03, which is a group that is an Afghan counterterrorism group. Like, this guy must have just, snapped something. What happened? I don't know. We don't know anything yet. We don't even have motive. But he's out there spewing these lies and trying to turn your hate, again, on immigration. Because distract from the Epstein files, distract from how crappy your life is right now and how people can't pay their bills, distract from how we don't have any health care, distract. Look over here, just like always. And he comes out and is saying that there was zero vetting, nothing took place. These guys just streamed into the country. There was nothing. Okay, the vetting for them in 2021 under Biden, they had to have identity verification, there were biometric checks, and there was intelligence reviews, okay? Under Trump, the FBI vetted him, this guy, in 2025 of this year, under Trump, I will repeat that, not Biden, gave him his final asylum. The FBI does a background check, and in addition to all those in what I just read, identity verification, biometric checks, intelligence review, they also do an in-person interview and a security risk evaluation, okay? This guy was vetted. But instead of saying, hey, maybe something was wrong with him, something happened, he snapped. You could even say SH happens. God, you had the Saudi prince in there and you basically said with the reporter, SH happens, things happen. You could have taken that position. Like, hey, this guy, we vetted him, but stuff happens because people go crazy sometimes and people snap and do terrible, terrible things. It happens. You could have just taken that position. You don't even know why he did it yet. We don't even have a motive. But you come out there and you lie like you always do. And then he brings Kash Patel out to lie. And he conveniently also doesn't answer the question. He was asked, I got it written down on one of my little teeny notes. He was asked, can you please clarify the timeline of when he came in? Because the reporter wants him to admit that he came in and was vetted under Trump. You know what he says? No, put that out on DHS. Refer to them. He also vowed to catch the shooter when the shooter was already caught. Yeah. Bravo. You're really doing your job. Okay. Noam's department is the one that did the approval. Okay. They're just lying. Like, right to our face, like we're stupid. I know that he came in under Biden, but I also know his final asylum was vetted under Trump. Like, two things can be true. But they're not going to put that part out. No. They need to lie about that. And they're never, they're not doing their job. They're supposed to be, this makes the FBI look bad because they're the ones that are supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. They are counterterrorism. But instead, they have so many people covering up and worried about the Epstein files and running around and doing Kash Patel's bidding, like putting a SWAT team protection on his 26-year-old girlfriend when they won't do it on people that actually need it, like the people that, Trump told that should be hung, perhaps. Maybe they should have a SWAT team on them, you think? So, it's just a hot mess, just like every day. It's just a freaking hot mess. All right. There's a new person taking over CBS, Barry Weiss, okay? This woman is a Jewish lesbian that eventually, and she's against woke, she's anti-woke. Like they say on other shows, the knives will turn on you eventually, because MAGA is right-wing Christian megachurch evangelicals, and the fact that and anti-Semitism is rampant in that side. So I don't know how she thinks one day the knives aren't going to turn on her, but this is what she said. she said that we need to elevate voices like Alan Dershowitz. Okay? Let me show you the tweet that Alan Dershowitz did. Okay? I'll read it too, because it's probably going to be backwards. Yeah, okay. Well, you can watch the video I have backwards. That's not going to matter. The age of consent laws have become controversial, sparking debates on societal norms and legality. Visit the link below to watch the full episode. The age of consent for sex is way too high. Are you kidding me right now? That's disgusting. And that's the voice that you want to elevate? CBS is going to go down the tubes, because when we are not, I mean, think about what journalism used to be like before this craziness Trump era. Professional. Facts. There was not alternative facts. There was not fake news. People actually did their research, and what they said was the truth. And if it wasn't, you were in deep SH. You could not just come out there and lie like they are today, over and over and over. That was not a thing. You were professional. You held yourself to a higher standard. You couldn't just come out and lie. And we are so far removed from that. That's why it's so important to support independent media. Like any videos you can find, like what I do, what Midas Touch does, what IHIP, Jack Cacciarella, any of those. I think Brian Tyler Cohen is another one. Or Cohen. I mean, it's so important, because obviously we have gone off the deep end. They're not even calling out his health. I mean, they put up his bad poll numbers, thank God. But I mean, they should be there every single time he lies, saying, nope, that's not the truth, and here's the facts, and pull them up and stick it in his face. They can't get away with lying like this, and they are just looking the other way. And, you know, Sleepy Joe Biden's mental state was like front page news every single day. He was an old man. He was in cognitive decline. Fine. Look at the president now. Even if he was just as bad, why are we not hearing anything about it? There's nothing, not a peep. So who are you going to trust for your news? You know, it's all now, it has to be independent media. We're not beholden to any corporations or billionaires or anything. I don't get paid to do this. I just do this because I'm an outraged citizen and I'm sick of all the lying. So that's what keeps me doing it. I'm not motivated by anything other than that. Just to bring you the truth. I have no hidden agenda. I'm not on, for, or, I don't get paid for this. I'm not out to make a buck. I just do it because I need to do it. It was something that I felt that I needed to do. All right. And the last thing is the race in Tennessee between Afton Bain and Matt Van Epps. Okay. If you live in Tennessee, this is a state that has had a super majority for a very, very long time of Republicans. And they are like last in maternal health or maternal mortality, I think. They're last in workplace safety. I mean, is it not time for a change, or are you going to vote in the same thing? Because this is the videos I wanted to show you. The difference between these two candidates is just night and day. And she's just so, bubbly and right and probably good for, Tennessee, I would imagine. This is her ad. Ready?
Hey everyone, State Representative Afton Bain, the 7th Congressional District Special Election Democratic nominee. It is cold, which is why my coat is so dramatic here in Nashville, but I woke up with the energy of 1,000 Dolly Partons and decided to go canvass because a new poll dropped showing us about 2 points behind my opponent, which is wild. And I've got the election excitement wiggles, as I do. So I decided to jump out of bed, go out and canvass. It's the last day to early vote across the district. So as you are preparing for Thanksgiving, please head to the polls. In some places, polls close at 12. In Davidson County, it's a little longer than that. And if you are coming home from college, guess what? You have the opportunity of a lifetime to flip a congressional district. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to come home. You're going to hug mom and dad. You're going to kiss your pug, kiss the dogs, and then you're going to figure out where to vote. If that you need information, go to iwillvote.com. Find your polling place, head out to poll, and then sign up for a canvassing shift this weekend. We've got a day of action on the 29th. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see everyone. Oh my gosh, it's wild times out here. It's the wild bang season. Y'all can relate. The girlies can relate. All right, love you guys. Let's go out and win this.
Okay. Energy. Relatable. Now, compare that to this stupid idiot's video. And this is courtesy of Midas Touch because I couldn't find the actual one online. So I just recorded his. This is courtesy of Ben Mycelis at Midas Touch. All right, listen to this fool.
Wants new and higher taxes to fund her socialist agenda that will skyrocket our cost of living. In her own words, she is very...
Here.
Wants new and higher taxes to fund her socialist agenda that will skyrocket our cost of living. In her own words, she is very radical. She supports transgender surgery for minors without parental consent and believes that men can give birth.
Okay. So... You're taking things out of the MAGA playbook that don't work anymore, okay? Nobody cares about that stuff anymore. I don't care, okay? And I can't imagine very many people, that's real high on their priority list right now, okay? What we care about is being robbed blind by people like Trump's billionaire buddies. What we care about is not being able to afford everyday things that we need to live and be alive. Not to mention not being able to have the American dream anymore, okay? Who cares about this? Who cares? I didn't hear one thing where he's talking about, you got to come out and say this. I'm sure he has other little stupid videos about what he's going to do. But him saying that Afton Bain is going to raise, she wants to raise taxes. No, she wants to raise taxes on the billionaires. And that's not going to cause any economic collapse. That's going to make them pay their fair share. As I spoke about in my video from yesterday with Massachusetts, they didn't all leave. The state just got some more money to give people some basic human necessities. That's it. The billionaires didn't flee. They didn't run away. They didn't move to Florida to Mar-a-Lago. But no, that's not going to happen. And it's always this fear-mongering, this socialism and communism and, oh, we can't have this. But like I said in my other videos, don't you think you deserve those things? There's nothing wrong with having those things. And there's nothing wrong with your government working for you. That's what it should do. It should not be run like a business. And this trans stuff with him, with she believes men can give birth, that is such a simplified, stupid statement. Like, if I can't even believe I have to explain this, but it is not that we think men can give birth, okay? If you are biologically born a woman and you can still have children and don't have like a hysterectomy and aren't missing your lady parts, and then you transition to now you appear to be as a man, then I guess that's saying that men could give birth. But we are not saying that a biological man, born a man, is able to give birth. That's just asinine. Nobody believes that. But to hear him tell it, we're all crazy because we think men can give birth. That is not what I doubt she has ever said in her life. Not what she said. And if she did, she means it the way that I just said. So no, we don't think that men can give birth. And I will have to look up the other thing, what he said, to see if she, with the surgery stuff, because I don't come out here and say things that I don't know. And I didn't look it up before I made this video. But I just think that's foolishness, what he said. And I'm just sharing that with you, because it is foolishness. He is more of the same. So if anybody lives in Tennessee, you should definitely not be voting for him, because he will just be more of the same. Because your state has not gotten any better. Your numbers are down. Why don't you just vote for her? See, give it a chance. What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. It's certainly not going to get worse. He can fearmonger all he wants to, but that's all they have left is fearmongering, because they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan for change. They don't care about you. I don't know how I can say that till I'm blue in the face. They don't care about you. They care about continuing with their bullshit trickle-down economics lie that does not work. We have been doing this since Reagan, since Reaganomics, and look what has happened. It doesn't work. It's time to give it up. And they don't have anything new. So why not go with something new? And just go for a change. And that's all the news for the day. I am desperately hungry from these stupid steroids. I cannot wait to get off of them. And I'm fighting every day not to weigh like 300 pounds because I'm so hungry all the time. I can't wait to get off of these stupid things. But anyways, that's all the news for today. If you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe button and never stop screaming the truth from the highest rooftops. And I will see you all tomorrow.